Hi, everybody, and welcome to another McFeely Minute here at KFGO.com. I'm Mike McFeely, host of The Mike McFeely Show, which can be heard each weekday, 2 to 5 p.m. on the mighty 790 KFGO and KFGO.com. I was at Bison tailgating before Saturday's game against Northern Iowa, kind of doing the meet and greet and the shaking hands and kissing babies type of thing before the game. And, oh, by the way, sneaking in maybe a hot dog here and a cup of soda over here. But I kept hearing one thing over and over and over from people I was talking to, and that is that there are things happening in western North Dakota right now that have people very concerned. And obviously when you talk western North Dakota, you're talking about the oil patch. You're talking about all those billions of dollars that are coming into North Dakota right now. And oil companies are getting rich, and residents are getting rich, and companies are getting rich, and people are moving out there, and it's absolutely the center of attention in the state of North Dakota right now. But talking to many people who have either been out there themselves or who have relatives out there who've been longtime residents of Williston or Dickinson or Parshall or Stanley, Tioga, those places, they are very concerned about the quality of life in western North Dakota right now, because they say that with all these different people moving in, and all these different people from different states going to the school system and getting jobs and being in towns like Williston, there's a lot of concern by longtime western North Dakota residents that these people are bringing a lot of negatives as well. It's not all rosy, as a matter of fact. It's not all rainbows and puppies and unicorns in western North Dakota. And some of that has come out. Some of it's come out via talk shows like mine on KFGO. Listeners call in saying, wait a second here, it's not all that great. Some of it's come out in places like CNN, which spent some time out in the western part of the state and printed some stories last week about some of the negatives, the strippers, the crime, the drugs, things like that, the strains on the infrastructure, the strains on the school system. So as this process moves along, as we kind of start to get a handle on what exactly the oil boom means for North Dakota, keep in mind that it's not all positive and it's not all great out in the western part of the state. And there might be an opportunity there for some politicians to say, well, wait a second, folks, it's not all great. Maybe we need to kind of look at this and at least put the brakes on it for at least a little bit to figure out exactly where we are, because we have some issues in the western part of the state. And of course, with the special session coming up in Bismarck here next week, maybe that'll be part of the discussion as well. But it's an ongoing story, and just keep in mind that when we hear all the great positives about the oil, there's a lot of them there, but there's also a lot of things happening underneath the surface that maybe aren't so great, that's maybe going to bubble over for those longtime residents of western North Dakota. Say thanks for watching the McFeely Minute. We'll be back again later this week and every weekday on the Mike McFeely Show, 2 to 5 p.m. on KFGO.